I feel very strongly about this. In this piece of paper, you guys are talking about not prejudging. You're prejudging what's on here because I said I compiled some facts. You're assuming what this really, I want to say, that people don't seem to want to hear, is that there may be a third way. Well, you just said, you said it was a judgment on him. You haven't heard it, so you're judging me.
I wasn't judging you. I was putting that back up in the roof.
So what I would really like to say is, look, I'm not the kind of person that wants to be in a work group. That's not my style. I'm not much of a marcher. I got a bad back. But I see something here, and I want to present the history of what Scott Ridgel has done to some of the people who stood up to speak truth to power. And I would think we would want to hear that. Jimmy brought it up last night. And so I did some research, and I contacted some people to try to get my story, what really happened from the people that it happened to. And I think if you don't want to hear that, you're prejudging me, that I am judging Ridgel. And that's not, it's about maybe a different way that we don't have to say yes or no, black or white.
I said personally, Scott Ridgel. Hold on.
It's not about personality, it's about what he did.
I know, I understand that. But I think that most folks are kind of aware of that.
Okay.
It's not what this is about at all.
Well, we see here the back.
Okay, guys, order please. Order please. Let's take a quick temperature check. We do need to get 9/10 consensus to just open this up for 2 minutes for Deb to present her facts on Scott Ridgel. Guys, can we hear that? 2 minutes on Scott Ridgel and then move on? Excellent. Okay, Deb.
Those who know me know my self-appointed mission at Occupy Norfolk has been asking people to join with me in occupying their mind, an idea inspired by my friend, artist Brian Helfrich. This expression has been well received both here and in Virginia Beach. Tonight, I'm speaking to you to ask you to occupy our souls. What I see as the heart and soul of our movement has been the identifying and calling out of those who have used the power and influence they derive from the people to silence those who ask difficult questions. I question whether or not Occupy Norfolk, Virginia, home to so many courageous women and men who gave the ultimate sacrifice for our democracy, rushed to an audience with Representative Ridgel, a man who claims creating jobs is a top priority, while conservatives like him slash vital programs and public services, which has resulted in suffering for the people. Consider this truth also. Representative Ridgel is a man who has used his personal power and influence to silence one of this city's respected elders, Joe Cook, an honorable man who has been speaking truth to power before most of us were born. A man who was invited to an open house only to discover the people's faith had been broken once again when they were given false instruction on the process to submit their questions for consideration. If Mr. Cook's holy anger at this outrage resulted in a breach of traditional etiquette by breaking in front of the line to stand up for the people, we, the artists, misfits, poets, and dreamers, the rebel in all of us should be the first to understand such actions. Let us consider the evidence. Let us hear from Mr. Cook. Read for ourselves the response he received when he filed a formal complaint with the police. Let us research the history of Ridgel's actions towards the people first. This is the question of the hour. We are in danger of falling back in our comfortable patterns. We must trust ourselves to take the time necessary to consider our possibilities together. The famous poet Wendell Berry wrote, "There are, it seems, two muses, the muse of inspiration, which gives us inarticulate visions and desires, and the muse of realization, who returns again and again to say, it is yet more difficult than you thought. This is the muse of form. It may be then that it serves us best when it works in instruction to baffle us and deflect our intended course. It may be that we no longer know what to do. We have time to do our real work. And when we no longer know which way to go, we have begun our real journey. The mind that is not baffled is not employed. If we fail to occupy our... Let me finish, wrap it up. Let us not rush to judgment, but consider the evidence and consider our actions, which may not always respond in an accepted manner or time frame. If we do not occupy our souls as well as our minds, then we are here is in danger of becoming a false protest, reaffirming that our speech has returned to the false dichotomy. Black or white, left or right, yes or no, come or stay. Let us thoughtfully explore new narratives to the questions.
Thank you very much. We have you first.
I just don't think that we should go anywhere to talk to him. He should come here to talk to us.
But you do agree that we should talk to him?
Yes. Conditional.
We're not aligning ourselves with him.
Okay, let's just go ahead and clear up the confusion here. And if we still have to discuss it, then we can still discuss it. Everyone individually here is free to talk to whoever they want about whatever they want. That does not mean that they speak for the group. Is that absolutely clear at this time? Thank you. Now, is the concern that an email asking Scott Ridgel what he wants, if it were to go out on behalf of the group, would need to include the phrase that the group requests that you come here and speak? Okay, let's take a temperature check. Do you guys want to keep talking about this subject? Looks like many of you still have points to make on this subject. Can we get everybody's temperature in on this? Come on. That looks like a consensus to me. Okay, Mr. Sack, continue the discussion, please.
Okay, the only reason why I'm back on the mic is because of this. We seem to be missing the original conversation from yesterday, which is the aide for Scott Ridgel spoke to Curtis, who happened to be at the Narrow, and said that Scott Ridgel had gone out to Virginia Beach on the 15th looking for the Occupy Virginia Beach folks and had missed them because they had come here. And because of that, he was really interested in meeting with the Occupy Norfolk people in Norfolk at Occupy Norfolk, which is what Curtis said last night. So there's no question that Scott Ridgel is asking us to go to him. He's asking for us to allow him to come here. And that is as much as we know, because he wants to hear what we have to say is what was said to us. Now let's work from there, please.
No, we need other voices first. We have time.
I'm Trudy. I was just, when you said we're all in agreement to talk to him, that's why I threw my finger up, was because I wasn't aware that we were at that point yet until we found out what he wanted.
I think there are very few people, very few organizations that the occupation movement should not talk to. Come up with a list. I think it'd be very short. I think Occupy Norfolk should talk to anyone who wants to talk to us except for a very select few. And it may be advantageous to do it in private. It may be. And talking to someone doesn't mean a damn thing. If Michelle Bachmann wanted to talk to us, I talked to Michelle Bachmann. I talked to Eric Cantor. I talked to anyone. What do you have to lose?
And that goes for them. We can't single out conservatives. Let's add to.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Richard Jacobs. Thanks to you all who are camped out here in support and representation of us that can't. But I think it would be a mistake, and I've been protesting in New York City and Philadelphia when I was a teenager. And if somebody that's famous or a politician wants to come out here and talk to you, invite them out here. Have them come to you. I agree with that. Personally, I don't know much about any of these politicians, so I'm not going to make an issue there. But invite them here. Take advantage of the media that might come along with them, or leak it to the media, or whatever you have to. And because these people are going to give you free time on the radio, TV, and might get other people out here. I mean, myself, it's great to see you all out here, but where's the other 240,000 people from the city of Norfolk? Where's the 500,000 from Chesapeake and Virginia Beach? Where's the rest of you? Because we are out here representing yous. And invite anybody out here and talk to them.
What's going on? My name is Frank. real quick, change does not happen without dialogue. If you do not talk to somebody, you will not change anything. And being that we're trying to be non-violent, without violence, that's the only alternative. You're not going to get anything done unless you have dialogue.
Yes.
Seems like everybody agrees. Let's move on.
Okay. Temperature check on moving on. That looks like a consensus to me.
Okay, quick temperature check. Email going to Scott Ridgell's people should include the group would like you to come here and talk to them.
Or not supporting you.
Well, it's not a support issue, it's just a conversation. Dialogue.
Okay, that brings us to our next agenda point this evening. I have drafted a rough draft mission statement. That rough draft mission statement is now on the Occupy Norfolk website. Everyone here is welcome and highly encouraged to read it, make your edits to it, and post it in the comments section. We're going to take all those concerns, things that you feel like are overemphasized or should be left out or should be added, and we're going to try to compile them, put a new rough draft on, and we'll bring it to the General Assembly for consensus. Quick temperature check. Does everybody feel like we need to have a mission statement? Now that mission statement comment section can be anything from a suggestion, your edit of it, or a completely original mission statement written by you. We will do the best that we can to hear all of those voices, and we absolutely will get a consensus before a mission statement is presented that represents the group. Quick temperature check on that? Feel good about it? Okay, loving it, loving it. That was easy. That was much easier than I thought it was going to be.